Damien arrives early at a remote woodland clearing, just an experienced camper scouting the area before his crew shows up. But 15 feet up in the canopy, he finds branches deliberately snapped and jammed together, like a warning written in the treetops. Nothing human put them there. Let's take a look. The first video tonight comes from Fell Wanderer, a UK outdoor channel run by Damien, an experienced camper who documents budget wild camps, bushcraft, and hiking adventures. He's also got a habit of pitching in notoriously eerie woodlands, the kind of spots where locals whisper about unexplained sounds, weird stick formations, and things that don't show up on trail cameras until you leave. The footage exists, so here we are. December 25th, 2016. Remote woodland, United Kingdom.
Just been stacked up there, isn't it? It looks like one of them has been snapped from the top of that one. See how high up that is? I don't know whether you can see that, but it looks like it's snapped off.
Damien scouts the area before dark. High in the canopy, roughly 15 feet up, he finds branches deliberately snapped and wedged together. The height and arrangement immediately read as territorial, something marking its space where humans rarely look.
And Neil suggested coming here, like, and I just want to show you something. It's like something unusual. They're just sticks stuck in the ground. That's an old tree stump, and that wasn't there the last time I was here. It's been about a year ago, like. That's no.
He's inspecting old gear left behind from a previous camp. The foam and canvas show distinct bite marks, teeth impressions. He notes how terrifying the location becomes after nightfall. If something forces a quick escape in the dark, you're leaving everything behind. Chatter around the campfire dies. The forest drops into unnatural silence. Distant knocks, unexplained perimeter disturbances. Everyone stops moving, stops talking, just listens to the darkness pressing in from the tree line. Damien and his companions stay vigilant until morning, then pack their minimalist setup and trek back out, camera rolling until they're clear of the tree line. The radios stayed quiet. The trail cameras kept watch, and whatever made those stick structures never showed itself in the light. Started as a routine wild camp, ended as a perimeter watch in the dark. No footprints, no explanations, just the woods keeping its secrets. That's going to stick with me. Kevin is searching a dried-up swamp for a place to pitch his tent. Just another urban stealth camp in a neglected patch of woods near the highway. But then a green walnut drops from nowhere, thudding into the dirt with no tree above him. Someone's watching. So, what happened? The second video tonight comes from Small Plots, an urban stealth camping channel hosted by Kevin, who specializes in ultra-low-profile solo overnight stays in overlooked micro-locations, highway underpasses, small urban forests, neglected land beside busy suburbs, places where being seen is the real danger. He made it out with the footage. July 22nd, 2026, United States.
This place is kind of weird. Might be tough to tell. Clearly, usually a swamp right here. I guess it's dry enough to where it's not a swamp, but it's filled with old remnants of structures, concrete, railroad ties, garbage. Now, I left my pack where I came in and walked in this direction. I don't think I'm going to camp in this direction. Way too close to people's homes, and there's a trail right there that I'm pretty sure they could just see me if they looked. Something maybe weird, I don't really know. Right before I walked over here, it sounded like somebody threw something at me. Like it was like a dunk, 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 dunk. And I looked at it, and it was like one of those green walnut nuts that fall and make that sound. But the weird thing about that is there was no other such nuts around. So either they're just a popular treat in this forest and they're cleaned up quickly, or somebody found that, maybe that kid that saw me come in and threw it down here. I'm hoping it's the former.
Kevin searches the dried-up swamp for a campsite, noticing old concrete remnants, railroad ties, and garbage near homes and trails. Then he hears it, a sharp thud as something lands nearby. A green walnut, no tree above him, no explanation. Someone may have spotted him. Someone may have followed him in.
There, and I hear like a chain jingling on it.
Middle of the night. Inside his tent, Kevin wakes to a deeply unsettling noise roughly 10 feet away. Distinct metal clanging and jangling, like a heavy chain or dog collar moving steadily closer through the brush. He stays completely still in the dark, on high alert, as the noise persists for roughly 10 minutes before fading into the darkness. No barking, no footsteps, just the jangling. Kevin keeps his camera low and lights off for the rest of the night, avoiding giving away his position. He manages a few hours of sleep before wrapping up early. After packing his gear, he inspects the muddy ground for prints, finding fresh deer tracks, but no evidence of what caused the metallic sound. The midnight visitor left no trace. That was way too close. Paul is climbing Pendle Hill as thick fog settles over the summit. Just another wild camp on a site famous for witch trials. and religious visions. But the footsteps that follow him aren't his, and the whistles in the wind aren't the wind. Something else is walking the hill tonight. Let's take a look. The third video tonight comes from Adventures with Zog, a UK channel run by Paul, who documents urban exploration, historical site investigations, and wild camping across England. Abandoned locations, ancient landmarks, overnight stays in places where the history feels heavier than the pack on your back. This is what came back. June 23, 2025. Pendle Hill, Lancashire, England.
Now then, hey up my ducks, and welcome to a camp that we did, I think, last year on the top of Pendle Hill, made famous, I'm sure most of you know, by the Pendle Hill witch trials. I will include the full story to this on a later video where I will go into the story a lot more.
So just walking up to the trig point. Unfortunately, all the clag's set in and we can't see much, which is a shame. It's not going to make for much of a video, guys, but we've got to do one in the daytime, haven't we, guys? Even though, unfortunately, like I say, the clag's moved in, which is a real shame, because apparently on a clear day from on the top of Pendle Hill you can see the Yorkshire Three Peaks, and believe it or not, you can also see Blackpool Tower, but as you can see, pardon the pun, at the moment we can't see a deal, which is a shame. But I've really come here not so much for the views, but for the history of Pendle Hill and about the witch trials, the Pendle Hill witch trials. Just come across this, something interesting here. If you want to read that, guys, just pause it. But George Fox climbed this place, Pendle Hill, in 1652, where he had the vision.
Inside his tent, Paul starts his sign-off, wishes his viewers good night, and stops cold. A sound cuts through the darkness outside, unmistakable, unwelcome.
Did you hear that? That's sex spring we call. Righto, guys, that's the end of the wild camp up on the spooky Pendle Hill. And there's Mr. Carl of Exploring with Carl.
Hello.
And there's Dark Night Camping.
Hello.
And as usual, you know the crack, leave no trace, guys.
Morning breaks. Camp wraps up. Paul introduces Exploring with Carl and Dark Night. Camping, fellow survivors of the night. They descend the hill, packing out every trace they brought in. Then, finally, the fog lifts. The Lancashire countryside spreads out below, green and vast and indifferent. Proof that daylight makes everything look smaller. 12 accused, 4 centuries gone, and a fog that never quite let up. Whatever made that sound outside the tent, Paul's not sticking around to find out. I'm with Paul on this one. Extremely cool is one way to put it. Mr. Mickey and his crew set up camp at Canic Chase, a place with enough dark history to fill a documentary series. But when the spirit box tells you to leave and something touches your face in the dark, history stops being academic. The fourth video tonight comes from Mr. Mickey Shorts, a UK paranormal investigation channel focused on overnight stays in eerie, historically notorious locations. May 18th, 2023, Canic Chase, United Kingdom.
What is up, guys? Mr. Mickey here. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a paranormal night in the woods in Canic Chase with Urbex and with Sean. Tasmanian vibes. We've already set a tent up and that for night, but this is what we're looking at. So beautiful, so tranquil. nice and peaceful till it gets dark later. But yeah, I've set a tent up in the woods. I'll show you this tent in a minute. But yeah, gonna have hopefully a nice night here. See what happens. Got some firewood already ready for the night. So yeah, there's loads of stories about this place as well. Slender Man, Bigfoot, A64 murders, Babes in the Woods murders. There's loads of history here, even from World War I, war memorial graves and stuff like that. So who knows what we might come across tonight. Hopefully something good. And Sean's up there, up on the hill, man on the hill. It's not Slender Man, so we're alright. But yeah, his tents are down here. You shall see. Taz is here. This is his tent.
Night settles. The group establishes an investigation perimeter using spirit communication devices. A distinct voice comes through the spirit box stating, "I am," followed directly by the command, "Leave." Mr. Mickey firmly responds that they will not be leaving.
Do you hear that?
Yeah. I was turning around, I had something move behind me. You said, "Did you hear that?"
Oh, it's kicking off.
Are you creeping round us now in the dark?
Yeah.
Come on, we've got lights out. You got the vantage on us. We can't see you, but you can see us.
That's Joe, yeah. Yeah, come on, come and talk to me now. That's said Mike.
Come on, come and knock Mike's hat off his head.
Help.
Help.
What do you want help with? Who wants help?
Loud movement breaks the silence directly behind the host. The team realizes an unseen entity is actively creeping around the perimeter of their light source in total darkness. Immediately following Mr. Mickey's verbal challenge to the darkness, a disembodied voice filters through the spirit box pleading, "Help, help." The atmosphere shifts to sudden distress.
Come and knock Mike's hat off his head.
Help.
Help.
What do you want help with?
Thank you again. Could you step away from the ball, please, and go back to the K2?
I'm trying not to move.
That's this machine here, what I'm pointing
That's
to
the
with the
thing,
green light. Could you make that flash as well now? There you go. And again, please, take it to red. Oh, that was a deep voice. Touch one of the balls on the floor and we'll open the K2. Leave the K2 alone.
Definitely. Blow the
Knife. No, you're not allowed to use a knife.
No, I've got
It's dangerous. How big's the blade?
Gun.
Listen.
The spirit box keeps going, this time with words carrying unmistakable threat behind them. The surrounding environment feels increasingly hostile. A heavily distorted, unnatural sound emits from the spirit box. The investigators note something distinctly evil-sounding is attempting to communicate through the device. Moxley and Lottie venture deep into Hatman Forest to camp off the main paths. Just another night in a place where locals report a dark shadow entity wearing a hat. But when something mimics your whistle back at you and footsteps follow, the folklore stops being stories. Let's take a look. The fifth video tonight comes from Moxley's Paranormal World, a UK channel focused on paranormal investigations, urban exploration, and overnight wilderness camping in notoriously haunted locations. Spirit box sessions, night vision perimeter checks, audio EVP captures, unscripted reactions to unexplained phenomena. He made it out with the footage. July 2nd, 2026, Hatman Forest, United Kingdom.
Now, what I will say at the moment, I feel okay, but I know as soon as that sun sets...
It's when the sun sets and the forest goes dark and we're stuck inside a little tent. Well, 4-man tent. We're in a 4-man tent tonight, so we should be okay. But that sounded like somebody coughed. Did that sound like somebody coughed to you?
Yeah.
From that way. Right. Let's get the tent in that up. Let's get our stuff in the tent set up, because I am gagging for a cup of coffee.
Oh yeah, now we're talking.
Now we're talking. Right. So yeah, just before I start setting the tent up, I just want to go over here.
Venturing deep into the forest and setting up camp off the main paths, Moxley and Lottie immediately hear unsettling sounds in the distance. What sounds like a person coughing in the dense brush. They discuss local reports of a dark shadow entity wearing a hat that stalks visitors. Uneasy tones set before darkness even arrives.
What is that? What is that? What is that? Hello?
That was something growling, wasn't it?
That sounds like a growl. That sounds like a f***ing growl. F*** would be growling out there. Oh, you okay?
Yeah, it's a fly. Sorry. That was a growl.
It definitely sounded like a growl.
Can I just say something? Why? Okay, wait.
Moxley whistles out into the dark tree line to test for intelligent responses. Almost immediately, a distinct, identical whistle echoes back from the darkness. Something is actively listening. Something is responding.
What the f*** is that? What the f*** was that?
Why does it keep on doing it back? Low key, I'm like, don't do that again because I think it's a bad thing to do, but I'm also like, do it.
Because it's intriguing, because it responds to it.
Yeah, do it again.
Come to us.
Nothing on this. I've never known that.
It's very quiet, isn't it?
Like, it's not said one thing.
Come say hello.
Moxley steps outside alone into the pitch-black perimeter, using night vision to investigate. No intruder visible. But a sudden, intense stench of wet dog hair lingers in the air near the edge of the camp.
It really smells like wet dog hair. Right, I don't want to go too far away from Lottie. I don't want to leave her too long on her own. I can't see anything. Oh my god, it's a tree stump. I thought somebody was stood right there. There's Lottie there. It smells of wet dog. Right, I think safety in the tent. That's what I'm thinking at the minute. Whew.
Is that you?
Yeah. Mate?
Yeah?
Over that side where I've just... Around 3 a.m., lying exhausted inside the tent. Unmistakable human-like breathing and quiet, menacing laughter ring out just inches from where their heads rest against the tent fabric. Both convinced they're being actively stalked, unable to rest, and overwhelmed by the feeling of being watched, they wait anxiously for first light. At 4 a.m., they pack up and vacate the forest immediately. Moxley notes the atmosphere felt heavier and more dangerous than almost any other haunted site he's ever explored. Whistles mimicked, footsteps in the brush, laughter at the tent wall. Hatman Forest kept its shadow figure hidden, but made sure they knew it was there. I'm going to need a minute after that one. Andy treks up Shutlingslow in dense fog with zero visibility across the peak. Just another solo wild camp on a mountain they call the Cheshire Matterhorn. But 3 hours after dark, alone in his tent, he hears something that shouldn't be there. A cough. Right outside. So, what happened? The 6th video tonight comes from Bald and Outdoors, a UK channel hosted by Andy from Stoke-on-Trent, focused on solo wild camping, hiking, and practical gear testing across UK wilderness spots. Down-to-earth humor, budget-friendly setups, and braving severe British weather like thick fog, heavy rain, and harsh winds. He survived the night. December 30th, 2024. Shutlingslow, Cheshire, England.
Always struggled picking a favourite between these, so don't know which way it's going to go. I'm excited. I'm a bit of a crisp fiend, as you can probably tell. I enjoy crisps way more than chocolate. I'm savoury over sweet every day. So these are two of my favourites, and we'll decide together, although it's me doing the tasting, which one is the best. I'm kind of leaning one side already, but I'll wait till I've got a gob full of crisps to give a final verdict. I think these Christmas trees have just breathed a sigh of relief. Now Christmas is over, you know they've made it through. They look bloody lovely in the living room, aren't they? Some baubles on. Absolutely tremendous. But they've just met, you know, it's got to sort of 23rd. And one's sort of saying to the other, do you reckon we might make it this time? The other one's gone like, yeah, well, you know, just steady on. Don't count your branches just yet, pal. 25th rolls around, literally bouncing for joy. What? It's weird how they like so many little like sprigs on top. They're all like that, look. Never noticed that before. Look cool though. Made it another year, lads. See you next December. The amount of moisture in the air, I can only imagine how good it is for trees like this. Like, look at the water literally dripping off because of all the sort of mist and stuff. It must be so good for the trees. You know, you've been on a rough night and you have that first pint in the morning, but it's like that, just absolutely gulping the lot. This is one of those poignant shots, you know, where I don't think I know I'm recording.
Andy begins his trek up Shutlingslow amidst dense fog and heavy moisture. Despite zero visibility across the peak, he completes the steep ascent to the summit trig point. Sunset arrives around 4 p.m. He pitches his tent on the peak and settles in to dry off, review pub snacks, and prepare for a 16-hour stretch in total darkness. Just him, the fog, and the wind.
Reading that Bernard Cornwell stuff. I'm sure I just heard someone cough, which would be really weird because no one's been up here since about 4 o'clock. Wait, where's my stove? Have I got the stove out since have I brought my stove? Wait a minute. Is my stove in the bag? I sound like I'm getting worse. I sound a lot more croaky than I did at the start of the day. Alright, nice little cooking spot there. The question is though, where's my frigging stove? That is the big question. And at the minute, I don't know the answer. This hood's doing my head in. I'm sort of hoping the stove's in here still. If I just never got it out. Oh, panic not. This is another Facebook Marketplace bargain, by the way. MSR Pocket Rocket 2. I got this for 10 quid. I don't know how much they normally are. They're normally a lot more expensive than 10 quid, though. I know that.
Roughly 3 hours after dark, Around 7:30 p.m., Andy is quietly reading a book inside his tent. He stops mid-sentence and freezes, listens hard into the fog. A human cough, directly outside his shelter. Complete darkness, dense mist, no other hikers seen on the summit since late afternoon. The sudden sound leaves him visibly unnerved in the pitch-black isolation. Following the unsettling moment, Andy tries to shake off the creepy atmosphere by refocusing on making dinner, though he briefly panics when he can't locate his camp stove inside his pack. The rest of the night passes quietly, but that unexplained sound in the pitch-black, misty isolation serves as a stark reminder of just how solitary it gets, camping alone on remote mountain peaks at night. 16 hours of darkness, one cough that didn't belong to him, no explanation. I need a drink after that one. That's it for tonight. If you watched all the way to the end, you're either very brave or you made some questionable life choices. Either way, like and subscribe, hit the bell, and click one of the videos on screen. I'll be back soon with more reasons to stay indoors. See you then. And if you made it this far, there was a hidden word somewhere in tonight's video. Drop it in the comments if you caught it.